All right. So the next thing I'm going to show you guys is how you might create the illusion of longer fur or longer hair right here. So you might see this fur, say, in a dog or maybe a longer haired cat. You might see this maybe in a horse or something like that. So we're going to play around and see what we can do. These are cross contour, they're directional lines. So the lines that we made previously, they're shorter kind of hatching lines. So we're kind of progressing a little bit longer here. So as you can see, with this one in general, these lines, if you look at the outside shape of this little form right here, the lines are going curved very similarly to these outside lines. So that's how an artist creates that illusion of three-dimensional form, and you can kind of see that drawn right here in these little sections. So I'll choose one of these just to work on a little bit. And you can see my little stages right here. We'll go back to these. I am adding some little base layers and stuff like that as I go to the lower levels there. And then I start to add some lines and stuff to my upper levels. So I'll do just a sample of this. So yeah, so I'll do a little bit of a grayscale. I won't go crazy dark on my lower level here. This would be where you might see a shadow. So this is under the layer of fur, that upper layer that we're going to focus on today. I'm just observing just the patterns right here and just emulating those a bit. And I may come back a little bit later and add a little bit more dark. So I'm kind of starting lighter here, and then around the edges, around the way this transitions to this, I'm going to make a little bit of darks right there, and I may do just the same here. So like I said, I can go back to that. So next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pay close attention to the shape of this outer form, and what I'm going to do is observe these lines that are happening on this form. I'm going to try to emulate the curve of these lines. Now as you can see on here, kind of like the rest of it, I sort of started you out a little bit with some directional lines, so I'm hoping that'll give you a little guidance and help you along the way as you go. So I'm just making my lines curve right here, and I'll do another line there. And let's see, I'll do another line there. I may not actually finish this whole thing, but we'll get you a good little start here. So from these lines, and these are cross contour lines, so they're definitely going in that 3D direction there. I'm just going to lay down some foundational kind of light lines. Now it's darker here. You can kind of see the way this goes. This is darker here, and then it gets lighter in the middle, right? And then it's going to get darker here. So your light source is right in that little middle area there. So we'll focus a bit on those dark areas, and we'll kind of fade it out as you get towards the middle. So you'll thicken your line as you're going in the outside edge. I'm not really making this as dark as it could be initially. And then you'll do the same thing right here. It might be a little bit thicker here, and then it'll just kind of like fade out right there. You'll do the same thing here. And there's nothing wrong really with taking your eraser to this if you want a little bit too heavy around the middle, or if you went a little bit too dark initially right here, that's not a problem at all. Now I'm gonna go back, and I'm going under this thing because I darkened this, and I'm seeing, oh my goodness, I've got to make this that's under this a little bit darker so that this pops out. So whatever is under this, that little under layer where there's a little cast shadow, build that up around this, and this will stand out really well. So next thing I'm gonna do, I'm just coming back. I may go back and just like define my lines. So I've got this kind of gray, nice little shade. Then I'm making a little bit more certain lines. So I'm literally just making a dark area right here. And then I may fade it as I go towards the middle. Part of that dark line may be a little bit thicker around this corner right there. And then I'll do something very similar here. I'll make it darker and thicker right there. I'll do another little dark thick area here. And we may I'm just making a little bitty hairline, like really, really light, kind of non-aggressive, like we're tickling somebody with a little feather around that middle. And I'm keeping it a bit heavy and aggressive around those edges. So that, in a nutshell, that's how you do it.